What's up, everybody, and welcome to Who Got Next, your weekly podcast bringing you all the news and reviews for the best brand going NXT and NXT UK. If it's your first time listening, welcome. We do the show every Friday on the Rant with Ant feed, so make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and everybody's favorite, your mom's phone. My name is Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, and with me, as always, the person who keeps beating me in Bella Brains, and I don't appreciate it. I won the first one. We tied the second one, and now she has beat me 4 times in a row. I'm very upset. It proves that I am so stupid. Allow me to introduce the Queen of Shade, MJ Santi. What's up?
You're not stupid. I'm just superior. That's all.
I don't like this. All right. After the first week, I thought that I was a smarter Bella between us, but now it is proved that was a fluke.
But the thing is, the first week I told you that you weren't, and because the question you got over me was about the movie Rocky.
Yeah. And Daniel Bryan hates me because he keeps asking questions that I didn't think about. Like, for everybody listening, this is how stupid I am. Okay. The answer was antonym, and I was so fucking stupid that I was like, is it syllable? Like I thought syllable before I thought antonym because I'm so dumb. Okay, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, all right, search Rant with Ant on YouTube, you get to see MJ's surprise look when I just said that word because even she just realized, wow, my co-host is very stupid.
I mean, in your defense, like sometimes it's hard, like when you like try to think of something and then you just can't get it, and you like think of random things that you know you shouldn't.
It wasn't even in my head. Like, it was the last thing I was thinking about. And then when he said it, I was like, fuck, man.
Honestly, when he told me, he was like, when he was like, not told me, when he was like, oh, it's a test about grammar. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, if I lose this, I would have been so mad.
What you should have said was, fuck yes, Phil is an idiot. And the one thing he does not know is grammar. If you check out my Twitter, you guys would fully understand that. If you just talk to me for more than 5 seconds, you understand I don't understand grammar properly. You should have known this is in the bag. I got this.
I was just like, I don't know. I felt the pressure. I was like, you've trained for this. Oh, I just said my name.
Oh boy. Well, let me write that down. That's 3 minutes into the episode. I gotta make an edit. And as you guys are listening, you're gonna go, what did Phil, what did MJ say? You'll never know. Because Phil went back and edited it.
No, they probably all know. It's okay.
No, it's all right. It's all right. But we had to go back and edit it because for some reason, for the first time in, I don't know, 10 episodes, 15 episodes, you slipped. But that's funny. This is what Bella Brains do to you. It not only tests your brain, but it also dumbs you down.
No, I've just been not all here tonight, so that's all.
Listen, you can say what it is. I want to give a big shout out to Frankie because I sent him a very nice Instagram post and he just responded back to me.
Did you?
Yes. Did you see the picture that Kayla Braxton put up?
No.
Like her on the beach?
No. Are you sending him pictures of her?
Yep, I did. I just sent him one right now. And I was like, yo, get your girl, bro.
And what was his response?
That's between me and him. That's a personal conversation. Yo, so for people who are listening, right? If for people at home who don't do a podcast or any type of creative content, understand that you can I can beg people to talk to me. I can beg for phone calls and text messages and just interaction, human interaction. I can beg for it and people will fucking ignore me. But the very second I hit that record button every week, I get phone calls, text messages, tweets. My shit blows up. It's like people understand, like, oh, is it 9 o'clock on a Wednesday right after NXT? Yep, Phil's definitely free. It's fucking, man, the life. But speaking of free, you guys can support us for free, and that is 3 separate ways. Except the third one's not free, and I don't know why I went with that segue, but that's besides the point. First way
we're both not all here today, apparently.
Yeah, whatever. We're all over the place. I have such a bad headache this week. That's why there's no after show this week. I'm still emotional over Endgame, and we'll talk about it eventually. But I have a massive headache from just work being crazy. 3 ways you guys can support us. One is on Twitter at WhoGotNextPod. MJ did a great job live tweeting tonight. Thank you so much for that.
No, I didn't. Thanks.
Listen, kayfabe, bro. Kayfabe. Don't ruin the kayfabe. All right, the second way is represent.com/store/rant with Ant. Let me say that one more time. Represent.com/store/rant with Ant. You can get all the Who Got Next merchandise and get some Rant with Ant merchandise. It is a great time. The third way, the unfree way that I was talking about before, is patreon.com/Who Got Next, where yes, it is not free, but for the low price of $1, that is cheaper than 4-piece nuggets. That is cheaper than a McChicken. You know how I know? Because I get that shit like 3-4 times a week because I deliver to a McDonald's on my route when I work at FedEx. Patreon.com/Who Got Next. $1 gets you into our Patreon chat. $5 gets you our special after show or whatever. I don't know. My brain just went numb again. But yeah, Patreon.com/Who Got Next. It has been a long week for both of us. So let's just jump right into the news because we definitely got some great news things to talk about this week. The first thing I want to bring up is on last week's episode, I was talking about how, it sucks that Sanity broke up and it doesn't make sense. We don't know where they are. We know Eric Young is on Raw and that there's reports that Alexander Wolf is going to NXT UK. We don't know where Nikki Cross is and we don't know what is going on with Killian Dane. He's still listed on the SmackDown roster, but no one knows. But now, due to reports or coming from reports from the Wrestling Observer, it's saying that Killian Dane is scheduled to go back to NXT and that Nikki Cross is actually listed on Raw. So take that, how you may, or whatever. I think there's rumors that Nikki Cross might be joining Bray Wyatt in this whole Firefly Fun Day thing, which I actually like now. I actually like it. I'm sorry. They broke me down. They got me to enjoy it. But I'm really happy that Killian Dane's going back. I think that he was one of my favorites when he was in NXT, when he wrestled by himself. He even got a match out of Lars Sullivan, which is shocking. And I would love to see him get Killian Dane get in the ring with like Riddle and Keith Lee and Dijak and a lot of those guys, the bigger guys that are down there who are like really changing how we look at big wrestlers, and they're actually having athletic matches, which is really cool. But what do you think about the possibility of Killian Dane going back to NXT?
I mean, I think it's great for him because he wasn't doing anything when he was on the main roster. I think that he'll actually get to do something and have some TV time and wrestle on NXT. It's always good when, I mean, like, I know, like, a lot of people look at it negatively, but if, like, you're not doing something on the main roster and you have the opportunity to go to, like, your home NXT and actually do something, I'm sure some of them are happy about it. Like, well, this is my chance to get a fresh start and do better,
And it's one of those things we've heard, like you hear when wrestlers are on podcasts and stuff like that, when they do interviews, it's like they wrestle because they want to wrestle. And it's like, yeah, it's great to be on the main roster and to basically get paid to just come and eat catering. I mean, Zack Ryder did that for like 2 years. But at the end of the day, if you're a wrestler and you love wrestling, you want to wrestle. So yeah, maybe you get paid a little less, but you get to wrestle every single week, multiple times a week. You get to go back to the Performance Center. You get to train. You get to, become a better performer to hopefully then go back up to the main roster and be better. And yes, sometimes this is a death sentence because once you go back to NXT, it's very hard to come back up. But we did see that it did work for someone like Emma. Emma went back down. She changed her character into a heel and then was able to come back up. Now they misused her the second time, just the same way they misused her the first time. But The point is, she's still got another opportunity to come back up to the main roster. So I definitely hope that this works for Killian Dane because I'm a huge Killian Dane fan. And hopefully by then, Nikki Cross will be an established wrestler and she'll actually exist on the main roster, not like being limbo like she is right now. But what do you think about the possibility of Nikki Cross going to Raw also?
I mean, good for her. I don't.
Wow, sound more excited.
I don't
contain your excitement.
I mean, I did just see like she posted like she's in college right now too.
Is she really?
So, yeah. So she's been taking classes. So like her not being on TV and not doing as much totally makes sense. Like maybe WWE is like kind of helping her out with her school stuff right now, like not having her in
it's an interesting time to start go back to school when you're like debuting on the main roster.
Well, like she's been back to school for a little bit, I guess, but it is something that she's wanted to do. I literally just watched the video on Twitter today. She posted it. talking about something that she's wanted to do, and before she used to be scared to go to school because she used to get teased and stuff, and so I can see like that as the reason why she hasn't been doing that much, and if that's the reason, that's good for her, and congrats to her, because I'm sure that's hard work. So I mean, as for her being with Bray Wyatt, we all know how I feel about him, so I'd rather that not happen.
What? Why do you hate him so much?
I just do, and that's just how it is.
He's cool, man. He's so cool, and he doesn't look like a homeless person anymore, which I don't like. I miss homeless.
He finally took a shower. That's great.
That's what happens when you're, you know what I mean, you're banging a chick like JoJo. JoJo was like, listen.
He has been, and she got with him when he looked like he was.
Yeah, I respect that. That makes me like her even more. Okay.
Oh yeah, the fact that she got with him when he was married. That makes you.
No, I meant I meant when he. I thought you were saying that when he looked like a bum, not the married part. we don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Homewrecker JoJo, but
yeah.
So in other news, another star is being reported going back to NXT, and that is of course Lio Rush is being reported to going back to NXT. Now I've never been a Lio Rush fan. Who cares? I think that he actually helped Bobby Lashley out, because Bobby Lashley is very boring without him, even though I hate Lio Rush, but in the sense his character was to make you hate him, so he was doing his job, right? Everybody was so annoyed every time they heard Lio Rush on the microphone, and actually I think helped Bobby Lashley matter, right? And there were reports, of course, that maybe Lashley isn't going to resign and that he wants to go back to MMA. There's all this stuff going on with the main roster right now. I think personally the reason if Lio Rush does go back to NXT is because Ricochet's on Raw, and if you have Ricochet, you sure as fuck don't need Lio Rush. If you have a gourmet steak in front of you, you don't need a fucking McDonald's sandwich. Not even, you don't need a dollar store fucking sandwich, right? Dollar Tree, Value Dollar, whatever is in your neighborhood. That's what Lio Rush is, because who gives a fuck about discount Ricochet?
I mean, discount Ricochet, like, no, far from that. Like, discount not even Ricochet. In the same universe as Ricochet.
It's just, I know you're super upset because you're like Lio Rush's #1 fan, because Topanga, of course, is actually Lio Rush's #1 fan, which blows my fucking mind. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
She always tweets about him. Okay, all right. So if you are the #1 Boy Meets World fan, okay, that is proven. It's a fact. It's not up for debate. It's a fact. So because you're such a big fan, that means you have to like everything that the actors like. Topanga, the most popular character on the show, okay, her favorite wrestler is Lio Rush, which means by proxy, your favorite wrestler is Lio Rush.
Honestly, when she did first tweet about him, I was like, oh, so who's this guy? Now I'm interested in seeing him.
Yep, me too. And then I saw him and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really.
He's not a bad wrestler. He's just, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't mean, and like for me, like, did he ever even like make it to NXT TV before he got called up to?
No, he was on NXT TV a couple of times. Then remember he made the Emma statement, like he talked about. He made the Emma joke, and then he got in trouble. Then he got taken off TV, and then he came back and I think lost the match, and then just got called up to 205 Live, and then he went to the main roster. So he didn't really wrestle that much in NXT, but whatever. I guess he's coming back. Who knows? Maybe this will work. Maybe this will make us care about him, and who knows what's gonna happen. Some better news. The table for 3 has been announced, a new table for 3, and that is with Ricochet, Adam Cole, and Johnny Gargano, which is definitely a must-watch episode. Are you excited about this? Or really, what should I say? How excited are you about this?
I'm very excited.
Yes. Do you think Ricochet talks about Casey and starts crying? And then Johnny's like, I've been married to Candace for whatever, and Adam Cole's like, yeah, I've been with Britt Baker for a long time. So like when we cry about our girlfriend wives, it means something. Not we've been together for 4 days. And I'm like, oh my god, did you see Casey? She like got out of bed this morning and was like, it was so beautiful.
You're awful.
Oh, God. Every time I see it, man.
They are overly emotional, but
listen, just imagine this, right? I hope for their sake that they stay together forever, because if they break up, especially within the next year. If they break up, they look so stupid because literally 3 months in and they are hysterically crying whenever each other do something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you, hey, listen, if it's love, if it's true love, and Brittany gives me so much shit every time I say this, but like I will stand by this. They've only been together for 3 months and they're crying like they're watching their
Well,
fucking best friend achieve something. You could
well,
be happy, but
maybe
it's
they
like
are
Ricochet
watching
was
their
in
best
tears.
friend.
Listen,
Maybe they had a good friendship first,
no.
and then
Casey has been in the performance center for like 4 days.
no, I think she like made a year or so. Like she just posted something about like her first match that she had in NXT. Like, and I think it was like an anniversary or whatever. But
She's
I
gonna
mean,
be.
I don't know. Some people are just. I mean, I also like Frankie was in the military, so there was a lot of relationships I saw that they were together for like 2 seconds and got
Well,
married.
when you're in the military, when you get into a relationship with someone in the military, it's known that you guys are getting married, having a kid, because you get more money. Okay, you get
I
more
mean,
money.
it's
Okay,
not
so if you
always
even
known.
remotely like somebody,
I didn't get married to Frankie till
yeah,
after
but
he
you
was already
guys
out of
met
the
before he went into the military. That's different. The point is,
true.
like, if you meet someone, like, for example, I used to work with this kid, right? And he started dating this girl, but he would be like, he was like one of those like player guys who like, always had a ton of girls around him or whatever, right? He was a pretty boy type dude. And then he started dating this chick who was all about him, right? Madly in love with him. But he used to be like, nah, man, it's not like that. We chilling. And then he goes to the Air Force and we would mess around with him, like, hey, listen, like, you're gonna get married now. Like, you understand that? Nah, bro, we're probably gonna break up, like, I don't want to be tied down. Yo, no lie, no lie. Less than a month later, he proposed to her. Less than a month later. So within less than a year, a couple that me and Brittany help get together, because when we all worked at Nike, in less than a year of them dating, they were married because of the Army or the Air Force. Just saying.
That's how it
Just saying.
is. And there's a lot of girls that some of them, when the guy is in the military, they tried to marry them for their benefits, and they're
Yeah.
called tag chasers.
Maybe that's what Ricochet's doing because he sees that Casey's going to be this huge star in the company, and maybe he's going to tag chase.
I think he's
You know what I'm
gonna be
saying?
the bigger star.
I don't think you understand that whatever career he was about to have, he's going to walk down to that ring with that sleeveless hoodie, and Randy Orton's going to RKO him back to NXT UK because only Orton's allowed to wear a sleeveless hoodie in this company. We've seen this, okay?
Yeah, but he's wearing a sleeveless denim vest, and Randy Orton is wearing a sleeveless sweater, so those are two totally different things.
I understand in a woman's perspective, but in a man's perspective, it's the same thing, and they have to legit fight to the death for it.
Oh my
Anyway,
god. I
before
mean,
we
Aleister
get
Black
past,
wears a vest too.
yeah, but Aleister Black is the devil. No one's fucking with him. Okay?
God. I mean,
And no one
Randy
wants to
Orton went
hear his fucking
after Bray Wyatt.
pipsqueak wife fucking yell at them. Like, all right, whatever, bro, you got it. Like, no one wants Zelina screaming at them for like 15 minutes. So while we're on the Ricochet thing, everybody wants to know. I see it on Twitter every Monday, and you don't really watch Raw anymore, right? Or you watch it later on, okay?
No, I
So
haven't watched
everybody
it.
wants to know, what do you think of the stupid sound effects and Ricochet's entrance? The
It's
pew 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 pew.
it's so funny because Wade keeps mentioning it to me. I still have not heard it.
It
I
is
haven't heard it yet.
it is
So I don't
so bad that I forget how bad it is, and whenever I hear his entrance, I'm like, wait, who the fuck is that? And then I'm like, oh my god, it's Ricochet. Oh my
I
god.
need to like YouTube it or something because I have not heard it yet. So, and
It
everyone's
is
disappointed because I can't give my reaction. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm sure I hate it,
is
but
Listen, remember when I said when Ricochet got called up that he was either gonna be Rey Mysterio or Evan Bourne? He ain't looking like Rey Mysterio right now. I'm just saying.
that's yeah. I
It's so
wanted him
sad.
on SmackDown, but
I want him in NXT until they're ready for him on the main roster.
they're not ready for anybody on the main roster.
Not even Asuka.
I
Woo!
knew
Asuka
you
won.
were gonna go there. I knew
Asuka won this week.
it.
I didn't know I was gonna go there.
I knew it. I know you better than you know yourself then.
Well, I mean that's just what it is now, I guess. You're spending way too much time with me. That's what it is. So now before we get into the big news of the week, because it is kind of in spoiler territory, but it's not really spoilers because we figured this was going to be happening. I do want to say that I yet again won the match of the week. Okay,
Yeah, I saw that.
Gargano and Roddy won. Now this week we have to wait to see what my match of the week is. We'll see what happens, but Thank you guys. Yet again, I might not be winning Bella Brains, but I am winning Match of the Week, and this is very, very great to me. As MJ rolls her eyes for audio listeners. The big spoiler thing that I did want to mention is, so as we know, when NXT does these tapings, they tape 4 weeks at a time. And the tapings that are going on Wednesday night when we were recording this are taping for May and June. So they announced that there is a takeover coming to San Jose. This is, of course, we talked about it. This isn't really a spoiler because we know a takeover is going to happen eventually. Oh. We would assume that it would be attached to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, but I think that with AEW having their show on May 25th, that WWE moved up Money in the Bank to kind of put their foot in the ground and be like, your show might be cool, but watch what we can do, right? So I think maybe that's why they did it. Maybe TakeOver wasn't ready yet, because TakeOver usually is in June anyway, so we assumed that it was going to be in June. So
what pay-per-view would it be for in June?
Is that Stomping Ground pay-per-view that they
just announced? That their new one?
Maybe? Yeah, instead of like Backlash or Battleground or whatever. No, it's never a good idea to eat popcorn before you do a podcast, but I do it every week because I literally eat popcorn, microwavable popcorn, so much that yesterday Brittany leaned over to me and went, "You make me hate popcorn." Oh I eat it every day. One a night.
I love popcorn. I stopped eating microwavable ones, but I love popcorn. And the other day, I went to get lunch.
You put shit in your popcorn. You don't just have popcorn. You put fucking candy and Kit Kats and fucking whatever.
Just M&Ms, no. Okay. But listen, okay. I went to get lunch and I walked. There's a plaza near my job and there's a gourmet popcorn place. Mm-hmm. The smell in the air was so heavenly. I need to go there. But they told me after my wisdom teeth, like, I can't have popcorn for a few weeks. So I'm like desperately waiting. Bullshit. But the smell, I can't wait to go there. And they sell kettle corn. I really love kettle corn.
So here's the thing. One, I don't like kettle corn. Two, I know, listen, we have to disagree. We're like mortal enemies. We're destined, okay? We're like Thanos. It's destined, okay? So now the second thing is I like my popcorn lightly salted, no butter, because I don't like butter. I'm not a butter.
So you like it without flavor?
Yeah, basically. And then the second one, I like it a little burnt. Huh. Like you leave it in that microwave a couple extra seconds.
Basically, you enjoy disrespecting popcorn.
Yes, I guess I do. But I do love pretzels and cheese. Okay. Pretzels and cheese. Beautiful thing.
But that's something different. We're talking about.
I know, I understand, but just popcorn, butter popcorn always makes me sick because I'm pretty sure I'm lactose. And one, I cannot take pills, so I'm not taking the lactate pill. And two, I'm not going to the doctor for them to tell me that I'm lactose intolerant. I just know I'm lactose intolerant. So butter popcorn always hurts me. And I don't like that buttery, I don't like it.
Do you like white cheddar popcorn?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's really good.
It's pretty good. Now, what do you think about San Jose getting a takeover? They've never had a takeover before.
They haven't?
Oh, no, they haven't.
That's cool. I mean, it's always great for a new place to get takeover because takeover is always so great and that's more fans to go and watch. But hopefully they're better than the most recent takeover crowd.
That is true. So enough of the news. Let's get into this week's episodes of NXT and NXT UK. And of course, if it's your first time listening to the show or you've been listening for a while and you haven't seen our new format, we are doing a new way of covering the shows. We are not going to go match by match, moment by moment. We're just going to talk about NXT and then NXT UK and give us our overall thoughts on it. Now, so I think that let's start with NXT UK this week because there's only really one match to talk about because yet again, they're still showing the tapings from fucking Access. And it's like, we've talked about this over and over again. That crowd was so dead. I literally, no lie, skipped everything except the main event. And then I got a little bored. I went back and I watched the Piper match, which, let me tell you something. This whole time I was thinking, why the fuck aren't they using Reina Gonzalez? Oh, well, I know why, because she's terrible. So, sorry. She's not good.
Is that the chick with the cowbell?
Yeah.
That is awful. awful. I hate that she comes out with that. I just want to take it and just hit her upside the head with it.
I mean, she can. I think you are the size of her one leg because she's very tall. But sure, good luck with that. But the one thing that we need to talk about is Walter versus Jordan Devlin, and what a fucking match this was. It did the unthinkable, which is it got the crowd to care. Like, it got the crowd to be invested and start chanting for the match. And it was cool to see Devlin was working as a heel, but he was working as the smaller guy. So every time he would make these crazy athletic moves or these reversals, or be like fighting like an underdog, he was still doing it as a heel, which I thought was really cool. And let me tell you something, we were on episode 41 of NXT UK. I remember episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, where we were like, Jordan Devlin, man, he's not doing it for me. And then to see where he is right now, it's crazy. Like, the way he's gotten so much more comfortable in that ring, he's become so great. I mean, and Walter's a man, we understand that, but what did you think of this as a match?
Right. So I have to go back and watch it because
oh no.
I had it on, but I was busy while I had it on. So I missed like a lot of it.
It was so good.
What I saw, I really liked it. I remember at one point, like, I looked away and then I looked back and then I saw Jordan Devlin's chest, and he was just like, oh my God, it looks so painful. It looks so painful. But I will say, like, I was excited. Like, in the beginning, the crowd instantly had a reaction to Walter, which I was very happy about. Cool. And I didn't expect it at all, considering it was Access crowd. Because once I turned on NXT UK and I saw that it was in front of Access crowd, I was like,
you're like, oh yeah,
I was so mad. I was like, and if you're gonna tape those horrible shows in front of Access crowd, do you really need to do that many shows? Like, it's just, come on, it's annoying.
Yeah, but, I can't wait until it's back in front of a fucking UK crowd again, man. I need the chance. It's been so long, right? It's been what, like 3-4 weeks? It might be next week.
Yeah, I think it's next week because I think it's in Glasgow.
In Glasgow?
I don't know. Yeah. I think it's in there because
the match is incredible, man.
They mentioned it, but,
and when Walter hits the finisher, he hits that like pop-up power bomb. He looks like he fucking killed Devlin. He hit him so hard, and then he rolls over on him. It's just like, man, what a great match. And it made Devlin look like a star because he like competed with Walter, who's this unstoppable monster who beat Pete Dunne's streak. So I don't know.
Yeah, and then really Pete Dunne came out at the end.
Yep, and then he basically was like, where the fuck is my rematch, bro? And here's my favorite thing about people with beards, right? Is when their hair is like a light brown, but then their beard is like red, because you know what I mean? Like, I think it's so funny. Like, I kind of wish my beard was a different color than my hair, just because it'd be weird. It'd be cool to look at. You know what I'm saying?
My cousin is like that. He has like a reddish beard, but like brown hair.
That's cool, man. That's so cool. I want to dye my hair like silver, and Brittany won't let me.
Don't.
I want to dye it silver.
No.
Spoiler alert, this beard is not going to make it to the end.
And dyeing your hair silver when your hair is naturally really dark, it's really hard. Trust me, I know it is because I've done it.
I know it is because, spoiler alert, when I was younger and I was an Eminem fan, when I was about 13 years old, maybe even 14 years old, I tried to dye my hair blonde, and we did it wrong, and it came out orange.
That's so funny.
And then guess what I did? I shaved my head and then had to walk around with an orange head until it grew out and grew out of it.
Oh my God. I wish
bleached
you had
it twice.
Pictures.
Nah, there's no way I can find a picture. But yeah, back when and the best part, I was living in the Bronx at the time, so that was fun. That was fun. Just orange head kid walking around.
Well, I did the silver hair professionally, and it was still like 2 sessions, and it still wasn't where I wanted it. So, and I was also coming off of having teal hair, so that was
but you're emo. Transition. Like, you cannot have, like, you should always have jet black. Like, I want to, fall in love with Aleister Black hair. Like, that's what your life is.
No, that was
like
my
Paige's clothing line, and her makeup was made for you. Like, she made it specifically for you.
No, that was my, like, I had teal hair, and then I did the silver hair, and then it went back to blonde. But I used to like doing all those colors, like purple and pink and blue and red and silver.
Yeah, but then you had to get a professional job, so sucks to be you. Now you got to be all professional looking and
Well,
shit like that.
I had I worked in a hospital when I had the teal hair. They just didn't really care as much.
Yeah, well now you have a more professional job. People can't be walking into your job like, oh, your hair is fucking silver. Okay.
The patients used to love it. When like in the where the patients used to have chemo, like they used to love like trying to figure out what color I was gonna do next. It was fun.
You're like Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. You ever seen that movie?
I have, but like once a really long
First
time
of all,
ago, so I don't remember any of it.
First of all, that is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. You show it more
Mentioned it
respect
like
than
a
that.
bunch of
You
times.
show it more respect than that, okay? Than just, I guess, no. Okay, that movie is
your
great.
favorite movie, but not mine.
All right, but I'm saying you show it more respect, right?
Show it.
You
You're saying
you nerd.
short.
You were wearing fucking Pikachu headphones, and you have the nerve to disrespect a nerd movie like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, a cult classic.
Okay. One, these are not my headphones. And two, just because I'm wearing Pikachu headphones does not mean that I have to like every nerdy thing in the world.
Yep, that's the rule. That's the
No.
rule. You didn't read the rules when you bought those?
I didn't buy them. My parents bought them for my son.
Well, you didn't read the rules when you opened them, and they said, well, by opening these, you must be a fan of every nerd culture thing except Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings is trash. Yeah. Fucking dab.
Stop eating popcorn before our shows.
Why?
I see you like you look like
No,
you're uncomfortable.
Oh, you maybe punched my mic. Look at you. So, no, I already took the popcorn kernels out of my teeth. Is that a great sound for audio listeners?
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. So, other than that, whatever, we get some hype for Toni Storm's next opponent. I think was it Allison Kay? I think her name is. I don't know. She had a pretty cool promo. Whatever. I don't show me NXT UK until it's back in the UK, because I want to hear the crowd chant. I want to hear all the great things that we love about the UK crowds. Until then, you're gonna get these bullshit like reviews of it because we missed the UK crowd.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the NXT episode. I thought there were some good things. I thought there were some things I didn't care about. The one really cool thing is Mansoor, is that his name? The guy that they signed when they went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
He got to actually wrestle in NXT UK and on NXT this week, which I thought was pretty cool. He wrestled Travis Banks.
Yeah,
I skipped it because once I noticed that, and I like Travis Banks, but once I noticed that there was a crowd, I was like, no can do, buddy. I'm skipping this.
It was background noise for me. I wasn't watching it, but it was on.
But his match tonight against Dijak was really good, and I was surprised they allowed him to get a lot of offense in, and they allowed him to knock Dijak off his feet. They really made him look really strong. I mean, obviously Dijak wins, but the point is, like, really, really good. And it got me because, like, you see these guys who get signed like in these things that are more of like more of a headline signing than anything else, right? You think of the guy that NXT signed that was from China, right? He's been on like 2 episodes and he hasn't been on since. You think of Cesar Bononi from Brazil and he's been on a few episodes. He won like Future Performer of the Year or some shit like that, and he hasn't really been on TV since. So it's like it's cool that they let Mansoor come on and get some offense in it. Actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think I actually like tweeted about that. Like I fully expected it and I was like, "Oh, poor guy." Like I thought it was just going to be the typical squash match.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy because you know what too? Like I don't think after so many times of these like bigger heel characters, like them having like these little squash matches like doesn't do much for me because it doesn't show much of their skills besides like, oh, they knocked someone out, but like I want to see more. So I like this match for Dijak because I felt like he did more and then the other guy did more, and I'm excited for the other guy to actually like, I hope that he gets more of a chance besides the wrestler that loses to everybody but puts on a good match. Like I mean, you know, he's doing better than what I thought, you know.
He definitely is. And one thing I do want to say is, because I do praise Dijak in the ring a lot, but he did one of the fucking worst moves I've ever seen him do, which was that when he was on the rope and he said, "Feast your eyes," and then he did like a lazy flip, like he was on the middle rope. Did you see that part? You know what I'm talking about?
Remember that. No,
So there's a part. So he's like he's on the middle rope, and he's like, "Feast your eyes," that shit he does, and then it's like he like turned around and like splashed him, and it was like trash. It was like Dijak is such a good athlete. Don't make him do stupid moves like that. It just makes him look like he can't do great moves because he can't.
Yeah.
I've seen this guy do insane shit in the ring, so it's like let's not downplay him by making him do a stupid move off the middle rope. Like it's just like a lazy splash, like whatever. You give that to somebody, give it to Jackson Riker or whatever the fuck idiot bullshit that we had to watch. Oh my God,
did you see their move tonight? I hated that move with the the power bomb to the knees. Like
it was bad because they didn't time it well. And just
twice they did it, like, because the first time I'm like, oh, did they mess up? And then the second time they did it exactly the same, and then I'm like, are they just bad at this, or like
it's just terrible, man. And it sucks because there's only like 3 tag teams in NXT, so that means we have to see them on TV all the time. Where is my Brazilian tag team of Cesar Bononi and the other guy who I always forget, but he was super cool?
Wow, you love them so much you don't even know the guy's name.
Adrian Jowd, who's fucking awesome. Where's their tag team? Okay, that they've been working on in the indie circuit. The NXT indie circuit in Orlando. Damn it, I need them to debut. Now after the Dijak match, we get the tease of him versus Velveteen Dream. Now I'm very interested to think because they teased it before, but I think it was more in the sense of like everybody wants a shot at the title. But they seem like they're giving this feud a little bit more legs. What do you think about this?
Legitimate feud, right? For Dijak? Oh no. He kind of had a feud with Keith Lee that they forgot about.
Yeah, that they forgot about. And Keith Lee hasn't been on TV like, since.
Left it alone. And it's something fresh and new for what?
I said, and Keith Lee hasn't been on TV. Bullshit.
Yeah, I know, that's disappointing. But it's something fresh and new for Velveteen, so I'm excited for it.
But it's weird because I feel like Velveteen isn't an established heel or face because like he's kind of just feuding with everybody, right? Because in the Riddle feud, he was kind of a face, but then he was a heel, but then during the match, he was a face, and now he's definitely a face against Dijak because Dijak's definitely a heel. So it's like, what is going on? But the one thing I do want to say is, I hated what Velveteen did singing the what was it, the national anthem?
Yeah, it's something like that.
It was, if you're gonna do it, either do it all joking around or do it like serious. The fact that he like at some points was on beat and at some points he was off beat, it was like, dude,
I think by the time they get to the end of it's just like with Velveteen's character is that like it's supposed to be like he thinks he's doing well, but then he's not doing well, but he's just so confident in himself that he thinks he's the best at everything.
Yeah, but as a babyface, you want him to do that though?
I mean, I don't think it necessarily always has to be like obvious heel and obvious face. Like I like the in between stuff. I like, because like Becky's kind of like that, you know, where she can do both. I like that where it's not too obvious. Like he's just an arrogant guy. Like,
hey, Becky's an uber face, super duper face. We just cheer for her.
She was like, she started out as like heelish, and then we kind of made her like a tweener. So
listen, my favorite thing that Becky Lynch says, and me and Brittany say it to each other literally every day, like I'm not even joking, when she goes, "Ronnie, you little weirdo." You little weirdo. I fucking love when she says it so much. It fucking makes me laugh so much. And then in the feud with Lacey right now, she tells Lacey to make her a sandwich because of course she's the man.
That was a good one. Hilarious. That's a great comeback to the Lacey's.
That is a great thing. And then Lacey came back again and was like, "Oh, I love Lacey Evans. She's so good." Now what else even happened on this week episode of NXT? Yeah.
Well, they had another like backstage segment with Undisputed. Like, I don't like where they're going with this. I don't like the whole like breakup thing, whatever. But
actually, I just remembered something that did happen. And that's Kushida had his debut. So now I'm excited to see.
I'm so disappointed.
Because I thought the match was really good. It's definitely been a long week for us. What did you think getting to see Kushida perform for the first time?
I think that I need to see another match to make a judgment.
Okay, fair.
I feel like I couldn't get much from that match with Ono. So.
What do you think of his entrance?
I think it's cool. The whole he's kind of doing like a Back to the Future thing.
Mm-hmm. That's
the
his
only
thing.
The only thing is like, okay, they're gonna let him do that in NXT, but I can't see that flying on the main roster if he ever gets there. And then, so what are they gonna do? Have him establish his character in NXT?
Well, hopefully
and then
for him, he stays in NXT for the rest of his life. Because we've seen what they've done with Nakamura and Asuka, so let's not. And what they're about to do with Kairi Sane, so let's not. Let's not ever want him to go up.
I can't see, like, with, copyright stuff, like, granted, it's not, like, I mean, it's too obvious what he's, like, inspired by. So, like, I get them, like, maybe they'll have it at first and then transition him in NXT and not have that, but I know that's what makes him popular, that gimmick, so maybe they'll just tweak it.
I do love his finisher, like that Kimura, like variation on the Kimura finisher. That was really cool. I do agree with you. This match, it was a good match. However, I think that having Cassius Ohno wrestle anybody in a match as their debut match does the person debuting a disservice, because Cassius Ohno wrestles a very specific style, and I think that he works better if it's like a feud, right? If you're building a feud with him, you're going to have an awesome match. Or if, like, you're in the UK and the crowd's going to get into it, and like how Travis Banks and him, like, tore the house down, right? I think that Kushida should have wrestled somebody more of the cruiserweight style so that he could have just went nuts and just did everything that he does in Japan, basically giving us his greatest hits. I do think it's cool that we got to see Kushida bleed a little bit and like kind of show his toughness, and really, like, he had to like pull that victory out. Like, it wasn't an easy victory, so it doesn't make him look like a badass in front of that NXT crowd. I'm just happy he won. Very shocked that NXT ended about 15 minutes early this week.
It took me a while to realize it was over.
I think they should have, like, they could have put another match in there. Maybe a women's match. Maybe one of these women's matches. I think next week we have, is it Mia Yim versus Bianca next week?
Yes, it is.
It is. So next week, you could have had that on tonight's show.
Yeah, but they had to, if they had it on tonight's show, it would have, like, rushed it. They needed to show.
Well, you could have got rid of that stupid fucking tag match in the beginning. You just put that match. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, whatever. Well, the one side of that tag match was okay. The other side.
Carrillo hit one. So so my thing is, well, speaking of Bianca and Mia Yim, they had a little backstage segment that I just remembered. I think that it started cool, but then it became very cringeworthy, because if two people are about to fight in the Performance Center, right, they always break them up immediately. The fact that no one came up and you just have Robbie Brookside like, hey, girls, what do you do? And it's like, no one's just going to run up. There's like 8,000 people in the gym. They showed you it when the cameraman was walking up, and no one gets between them. So Bianca has to like awkwardly walk away, like conceded. It was like, I think somebody should have kind of stepped between them. So like, there's a reason why they didn't fight, because it looks like they were about to fight, whatever. I don't know. It was just weird.
I don't know. I didn't pay that close attention. I thought it was just like a little argument, and then she was just like, ugh, whatever, and then walked away.
It went on a little bit too long. Mia Yim walked away like once and then came back around. But whatever. Listen, next week is me versus MJ. Mia Yim versus Bianca Belair. Who knows what's going to happen, right?
You do.
So here's the thing, right? I thought I knew what was going to happen. But the spoilers or the tapings, I don't know if next week is the first episode of the tapings. Is it? I don't know. I don't know how this works.
I don't either. I don't like that they record so much in advance.
No, 4 weeks.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who need to, like, it needs to be taped, so if they fuck up, they can like change something,
Yeah, but like 4 weeks in advance, like, I think that's a little much.
Well, hopefully they eventually live, and we can have a live NXT on Wednesdays, because I don't want it on Tuesday. I just want to enjoy my Tuesdays. I don't want to have NXT there. If you're gonna move SmackDown to Friday and fucking ruin every wrestling podcaster's life by trying to figure out when the fuck they're gonna record their show and when we're
Yeah.
gonna air it. Because Raw is on Monday and SmackDown's on Friday, and no one wants to record on the weekends because, believe it or not, WWE, we have a life. You know, we want to do other things, like go see Avengers Endgame because
Do
it's
you think
amazing.
they care about the podcasters?
No, they don't give a fuck about us. They don't care
Exactly.
about us. They
I'm
don't
sure
even
they
want their
don't.
wrestlers to talk about the podcast.
Yeah, so unless it's Lillian Garcia's awful
Well,
podcast.
I mean, she works with them. That's why I'm talking about like everybody else. They don't let anybody else do anything. Listen, sometimes Lillian's podcasts are good. Her Corey Graves interview was
I
pretty good.
just don't like
You liked her Ricochet
her
one.
part.
Don't even.
I love Lillian Garcia, but it's just I don't.
She
Some of her
gets a little
questions are
preachy.
stupid.
Yeah, she gets a little Listen, Jim Ross is the fucking worst. All right, the best
I've never
podcast.
listened to this.
The best podcast you can listen to, question wise, wrestler to wrestler, is Jericho's. He gets these wrestlers to open up in ways no one else does, and it's probably because he isn't a wrestler. But I've heard Tessa Blanchard have an interview on a regular podcast. I've heard her have an interview on Busted Open Radio. I've heard her had a terrible interview with Jim Ross, where he basically just talked to her. She wasn't even really asking her questions, which was annoying. But Jericho got her to open up. So, you know, it sucks that Jericho can't interview people anymore. I honestly love it if he can just interview NXT people. I think it'd be great to kind of
He's on a competing company, so it's totally understandable.
I get it. I understand it, but I do miss that when Jericho used to get these NXT people because, you know, I love hearing a wrestler's story, how they got there, blah, blah, blah. Especially there's a ton of women in the company who, you know, like we said, the women's division, there's tons of women down there going after Shayna, but like we only know the EOs, the Karis, the Biancas, and because they're the only ones being used. But like, give me Mia Yim's story. You know what I mean? Give me Candice's story that doesn't involve Johnny Gargano. Like, give me people's story so we can fall in love with these characters. But in some other news I just thought of, Tegan Knox, who is Nixon Newell, of course, got hurt in the Mae Young Classic. You know, she's coming along with her injury soon. She should, because she got hurt last summer. So she should be making strides to come back. I think her injury was only about a year. So hopefully she comes back soon. I think she goes to NXT UK, but I would kind of love it if she came to NXT. Yeah, it'd be
you
pretty
think
awesome.
she'll go to UK?
Yeah, because they teased this match between her and Rhea, and I think Rhea's still in NXT UK. So I think that's the match that they're gonna do, because her and Rhea are like really close friends in real life. So Rhea's like keeping her alive. Remember when she was like doing the whole gimmick with like I'm the one who hurt her and all that stuff like that? So I think it'd be cool.
Is she like dressed as her as for Halloween?
Yeah, yep, with like the cats and shit. Like what a fucking asshole. I love Rhea. So on next week's NXT, we have two matches announced: Mia Yim versus Bianca Belair, and then of course Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole. That match is going to be incredible. It's going to be so much fun. Both matches are going to be a great watch for next week. So yet again, we try to get you guys to watch NXT every week. That's what this podcast is about. There's some incredible matches that happen, some takeover-worthy matches. Riddle versus Adam Cole is a takeover-worthy match, and we're getting that on free TV next week. This is why you should be watching. Most
technically not free. It's $9.99 a month.
Oh my God. Agree with me. Just say yes, Phil. You're right, and then we move on. But with going to transition to why I'm right, let's talk about our matches of the week, and I'm picking Walter versus Jordan Devlin. Wait, who picked last week? Who picked last week first?
I did.
Oh, well, I picked this week. I'm picking Devlin.
I should have lied.
Yeah.
There's literally like no other match to pick.
Kushida versus Ono. Kushida versus Ono.
Whatever.
Piper versus Reina Gonzalez, your new favorite wrestler.
Yeah, nobody really watched that match. Come on.
You did. That's your favorite wrestler.
Who?
Reina Gonzalez.
No.
Yep.
I hate her. I don't even care to watch her wrestling because I hate that cowboy bell thing so much that I'm just like, nah, I dismiss her. So, yeah. So I guess I'll just go with the Kushida match if I have to.
You might win with that because understand, like you said, people don't watch NXT UK, and a lot of people like Kushida, so that might win just off the popularity.
We'll see. It would be my first win.
I know it would be your first one in a match you don't even want to pick. You're like, I guess.
Because like I don't know. I just like it was good. It just wasn't one of those matches that like, that's why like I need to see another one of his matches against somebody else to like really, I feel like, get the feel of him.
Cassius Ohno's fat, that's why.
Stop it. That's not.
And he's not fat in like a good way, right? He's fat in a fat way.
That's mean.
I'm fat. I can say that.
No, you can't. That's
yes,
body shaming.
I'm body shaming someone who looks like me. And I'm shorter, so I look worse.
He doesn't look like you. No.
I look just like him. I have long hair, clearly. I'm also dating Rachel Ellering, clearly.
Is he really dating her?
Yes. Oh. Wow, welcome to the dirt sheets. Jesus, where have you been?
I don't pay attention to dirt sheets.
You watched the Mae Young Classic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when she fought? Cassius Ohno was in the crowd clapping.
Okay. There was a lot of people in the crowd.
Why would he be there? Why would he be there?
There was a lot of people in the crowd clapping.
No, but they zoomed in on him and they were like, Cassius Ohno, and he's like clapping. Why would he be there?
Because he's part of NXT.
No, it's because he's her boyfriend. And she's stronger than him because she's like a power lifter.
Sorry, I don't pay attention to everybody's personal life in WWE.
Fun fact, another cool thing I just remembered. She actually got to wrestle in front of her dad for at a NXT live event, which was really cool. A lot of tears, a lot of emotions. It does bother me that her name is Rachel Evers and not Rachel Ellering.
Maybe they just don't want to use her dad's name.
She doesn't. It's because if you watch the Mae Young Classic and paid attention, it's because her dad did not support her decision to become a wrestler, and they didn't talk for a while. And she picked Evers because that's Lance Storm's real last name is Evers. So, and he trained her, so she did it as an honor to him. Oh. The more you know.
Oh, so you know like everything about her, apparently.
Pew, 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 pew. I know. I'm not getting into it. I like Rachel Ellering. People say she was better than Tessa, but let's be fucking serious. She is not. Her and Tessa had some good matches, though. She's good, all right? She's good, but people gas her like she's better. I think Mia Yim's better. I said it. I'd rather see Vanessa Bourne. I said it.
Tessa Blanchard, too.
Yo, so. I think you were right, and I think Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah are called Bourne and Bougie.
That would make more sense. What was the name you said? Hires?
The Hires.
That doesn't even, no.
I'm not against it, but I'm not with it either, you know?
What? The Hires name?
Yeah, I do. I like Born and Bougie.
Born and Bougie makes more sense.
You're, in this podcast, you're Born and I'm Bougie.
Sure.
Yep. Damn right.
That.
Beard flip. Listen, this beard is not making it to the end of May, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it while it lasts. It might not even make it to the end of this week because it is bothering the shit out of me.
Really?
Yep. Stay tuned. Looney Tunes.
Can you record it if you do anything?